Storytime family, welcome back. And if you're new here, please like and comment on the video. It really helps us. And please subscribe. You're going to love it here. I love you already. We are going to be besties. My name is Sierra. Welcome. All right, you guys. So I kind of wanted to take the chance to promo Criminal Claws because I usually try not to like hammer it in as much as possible. I try to keep everything as lax as I can. But we do have a new collection coming out for Valentine's Day. It is available now on criminalclaws.com. And the collection is called Side Piece. Sorry, I have to think about it every time. But Side Piece is the new Valentine's Day collection. I'm going to be using it in today's video. And for you guys for Valentine's Day, here is a promo code that you guys can use for an extra 20% off of the website, but it is only good until Valentine's Day. So make sure you go and check criminalclaws.com out as soon as possible. These acrylics are seriously beginner friendly and pros love them. They give you plenty of time to work with them. They do not marble and they are super buttery. Plus we have nail art, couture nail brushes, ones that you're not going to get from all these other brands that pretty much regurgitate the same shit, just different colors. You can tell that they are ordering and just having their name thrown on it. Like, these are custom pieces from us, totally different than anything you're going to see anywhere else. Nobody else has what we have. It is a complete couture and designer line for you. So shop criminalclaws.com, do it before Valentine's Day and get that 20% off. So here's the set that I am bringing you guys today. Oh man, when I say it is so hard to get pictures of a glitter 3D acrylic set with rhinestones and try to get all the facets of the work that you did in the picture. It is so hard. I could not get a good picture of this set. I'm obsessed with this set in real life. It is just too adorable. But when I say it's so hard to get a picture, it's so hard. Here's the side piece collection, and I'm going to be using XOXO out of this collection. Now, I'm going in and I am doing a pop-off method, right? I actually tried this first in the unicorn set, but if you remember, I lost my application footage, and because I started out with this rinky-dink lamp because I couldn't find my lamp's cord, I thought that it was a failure of a pop-off method because of the lamp. So I wanted to try it again, and because I'm going in with these stiletto long-ass tips, I did not want to do the pop-off method and glue the tips on and try to file them on the nail and then break off. So I filed them off the nail, and then I'm going in with some cuticle oil, rubbing it across the nail plate, making sure I'm rubbing it in really good, and then I go in with a top coat and just top coat it. It didn't work, you guys. Okay, I cured the top coat. I did not use the bottle brush. I actually used an art brush to apply it, and then a different brush, a nail art brush, to actually kind of smear onto the nail because I didn't want to contaminate my bottle with cuticle oil. So I'm going in and I cure this. 3 days later, the nails are still on. The unicorn nails that I did with this method, it's been 2 weeks, and it took a week and a half for the thumbnail to finally pop off. The other 4 nails growing strong. You can see that here. It's been 2 weeks now. This set here has been like 3 or 4 days. Still on, going strong. I keep pushing against them. Nothing. Nothing. They're going nowhere. I have to go back to work tomorrow or today. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to have to just clip them and look like a retard. I want to look like an idiot. As always, I don't care what people think. But damn, like, I was really hoping for a cute pop-off method so I could bring more nail content without having to like file and soak for hours, right? Because that's what I always end up doing. So just for the sake of science, as just let you know, cuticle oil and top coat do not work. Maybe I'm going to be looking up, I know Nailed to the Hustle has a couple pop-off methods on her channel. If you want to go check her out, go check her out. I remember seeing one with foil gel. So I'm going to go check her out and see what she's got there, and we're going to try that one next. So here is XOXO, and then here is our 1 ounce container of Bare Beauty, which I am going to swatch and show you guys these right next to each other. They really do look beautiful next to each other. I'm pretty sure a lot of nudes would look good with XOXO, but this is what I wanted. So here is our size 14 acrylic brush, and then here is our size 2 art brush. Our brushes are so sexy, I'm sorry, but nobody else in the game has got brushes like us. Sorry, you just don't. They're just too sexy. My brush that I'm using right here, I was showing you guys brand new ones, but my brush is the same brush. Mine is just an older version, okay? And I still love it. I've had it for a long time. I loved it from day one. It is crimped. It does not hold acrylic. It does not gunk up. It is so easy to clean. I'm obsessed with our brushes. Our new brushes are just beautiful. So this is a non-dominant hand application, and I struggled. All right, so voodoo dolls, where do they come from? Where do you think they come from? What do you think of when you think of voodoo doll? So I was watching The Princess and the Frog with my daughter because I love Tiana and I love The Princess and the Frog. It's one of my favorite movies when I was growing up because she was this poor little girl and she just had all these dreams and aspirations, and she knew that she could be something so much more. And I just really connected with that. And I was watching it with my daughter because I like sharing my favorites with my daughter, and she likes it too. It's not our first time watching it together. She's 4. So we've definitely watched it several times. But it's one of the reasons why I did the voodoo doll set. And when I think of voodoo, I think of Haitian Americans and the Louisiana Bayou. And I think about this religion that is technically supposed to be like worshiping Satan or something bad, that poppy, whatever. I did not look up too much when it comes to voodoo, right? But boy, did I find out. So, the voodoo doll was not created by voodoo religion. It wasn't. Okay? This is another thing where the Western civilization just makes a mockery of everything that it comes across and sees. Where people just judge at first sight and don't ever really learn anything. So, a man in 1933 was on a ship and he watched somebody with a doll, right? And he wrote this book. And he wrote about how this brown person, black person, was playing with the doll, which was like this effigy of a person. And they were like poking pins into the doll. Whether this is actually true or not, or whether he just made it up for the book, I don't know. But this was actually a popular book. And he attributed that person poking pins into the doll to being a voodoo religious thing, where if it became popular or became known that now voodoo dolls are something that the voodoo religion takes part in, wrapping up hair or just whatever in the idea of a person that you do not like, and you poke pins into it to create pain or illness or whatever. And it was thought, after people reading this book and then years after movies coming out, and you know how Hollywood is, they definitely dramatize everything and don't put anything into actual facts. They make everything way worse than what it ever was, and usually you cannot find barely a shred of truth into anything. They take one tiny incident and turn it into a whole feature, like a whole featured film. A boy could fall down on a train tracks and somehow like a film gets made about the world ending and robots taking over, right? That's how this was. Whatever this man saw on the ship of this person, darker skinned, playing with the doll, turned into, once the movies got a hold of this idea, that this was a voodoo ritual. And in reality, the voodoo religion has nothing to do with voodoo dolls. Never was a thing. Never. Voodoo priests all over the place hate this idea that people think that they do voodoo magic and black magic and dark magic, and that somehow wrapping up hair and poking pins into it has something to do with their religion when it doesn't.
This is totally fabricated out of air. It is for the movies. This was never real. I really thought voodoo dolls were real. The only thing real about it is all these little goth kids going around and loving pictures of the cute little voodoo dolls that have, cute little pinpricks in them. I guess. I don't know. I did not know that this was not a thing and that it was a total lie made up by Hollywood. Damn Hollywood and misinformation. I tell you what. I am guilty of thinking voodoo dolls are cute though. I did a voodoo doll set a long ass time ago when I first started doing my nail journey. Cute as hell. But now doing this set, I just feel like a dumbass because you think you're so smart, right? You think that you're so cultured, that you learn so much about other people and that you take the time to learn. And yet you still have those days where you are very humbled and you still realize that you have a lot to learn. So, yeah, the Haitian culture, nothing to do with voodoo dolls. Now, maybe you might be able to go down to Louisiana, you might be able to go down to South Florida, you might find some Haitians that are going to take your money and do a little rinky dink practice to make you think that your enemy is now going to have all their hair fall out and their knees are going to hurt for the rest of their life when it rains. But this is not a real practice. This is not a voodoo practice. Just saying. This is yet again the movies and Western culture lying to us. Just totally making a mockery of anything that it can, pretty much. So, yeah, what did you think? Tell me what you think about all of this down below. Did you already know? I'm sure I'm going to have some like people that are going to be like, Dulcier, you didn't know that? No, bitch. No, I didn't. Damn it. I didn't freaking know this. But like I said, I will humble myself and do my best to learn as much as I can about everything that I can because I just love learning. And I am quick to admit that I just don't know it all and I love finding out new facts. So definitely that's why I love talking to you guys on here and seeing what you guys think about stuff too. But yeah, so here we are going in with our other nude nail. This is going to be our last full nail that I'm going to show you guys because I just go ahead and do an ombre on the thumb. So here you can see, oh man, when I say that my non-dominant hand application really threw me off, it just totally got me. Like, I was just moving so slow. I could not stand myself with how slow I was moving. But I'm going to show you this from the side. So the reason that I'm leaving ledges on this nail is because like as much acrylic as I'm putting on it right at the time, I'm only dragging it down as far as it needs to go for the thickness and then adding another bead to, I'm not going to keep swiping the layers all the way down the nail and then just keep adding up, up, up. I'm just swiping down as far as the bead needs to go to keep the thickness up to that point and then adding a bead below that and then keeping the thickness. That was my way of doing it. Sometimes I will add a bead, swipe it all the way down the nail, then add another bead all the way at the top of the nail and swipe it all the way down, and then add another bead at the top of the nail and swipe it all the way down to build up thickness. But sometimes I don't feel like doing that. Sometimes I just decide that I'm going to drag it as far as the thickness seems like till it's starting to get too thin, and I'll stop and then add a bead at the bottom of that bead and then drag that down till I feel like it's starting to get too thin and then add another bead. So here we're going in and we are encapsulating, and I am using this new clear acrylic that I told you guys that I was using a while back, and I'm trying to get used to it and I'm really liking it. I was very much so used to a self-leveling acrylic, and this is something that I'm trying for the site, and I was very much so used to a very buttery, self-leveling, wet, runny acrylic, and that's what I liked because it really made sure that I didn't get air bubbles in my set. This is more of a controllable clear acrylic, but it gives you a lot of time to work with it. And now that I've worked with it quite a few times, my consensus is that I really like it. I do. I really like it. So after we encapsulate everything, I'm going in. I already filed everything. We're going to pull out our poison putty. And I just scrape off a little bit from the last set that I did with the Kirby. And crazy enough, it was still moldable. I didn't want to use it because I felt like it was probably contaminated with like dust and hairs. But I was able to just scrape it off the lid and still like roll it around and mess with it and stretch it. So yeah, it definitely stays moist. Is that a word for you, moist? So I'm pulling out balls, right? What I'm doing is I'm rolling up a ball that I feel like is big enough to be the belly, then a ball big enough to be the head, and then some balls big enough to be the arms and legs. And I'm kind of trying to eyeball the sizes, and then I'm going to go in, and for the sake of you being able to see, I'm going to add some white gel polish so that it's easier for you to see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Now, I will tell you, when it comes to the conversation hearts and I go to build those up, I leave that perfectly clear because I wanted to see what it would look like on camera and see if you guys could actually see the details that I was trying to have come across on camera, right? So I left the conversation hearts totally clear to see if you guys could actually see what I was doing. And yeah, it wasn't too bad. All right, so I'm going to let you guys go through the rest of the video. Just know that as I am doing my art, that I'm curing as I go. So I love you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy all of this. Shopcriminalclaws.com. Use code SNEAKYLINK to get yourself an extra 20% off, and that code will be usable until Valentine's Day. Oh, and then also I do go in and I top coat my 2 nude nails with matte gel polish, and then the glitter, the ones with glitter, I do top coat with a shiny top coat. So yeah, and then just I hope everything else will be pretty self-explanatory, just kind of molding everything as it is, right? It's really easy to use poison putty. You guys got to try this stuff. So simple. But all right, I'm going to let you guys go. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. All right, so I'm back, and I did want to let you guys know that I just ended up rolling up a really thin strand and using my tweezers to hold it in the lamp so that I could cure the tiny little thing. And then I grabbed a wet bead of smushed poison putty and smushed my cured little pin into that bead to make the top of it. I was going to put it in the heart, but I really needed some more support for it. So I ended up putting the pin into its head and just using my nail as support. So I just put a little bit of gel up against the head to push that pin into, and then the tiniest bit of gel under the head of the pin onto my nail just to hold it in place. So that's how I got that pin to be perfect looking. It really did. And then I top coated that. I went in with silver to make the body of the pin look good, and then just black for the head of it, and then top coated. And like I said, I went in and did shiny top coat for all of the nails with glitter in them. right, so I did outline the conversation hearts and everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I do end up doing the same method for the hearts on the thumb and the same method for the lollipop stick because I did like a heart lollipop on the thumb. So I did the same method as I did for that pin. I did that for the lollipop stick. So I did not show that in the video, but it is the same method for the hearts and the pinprick. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I did. I loved it. I hope you guys really, really loved this.